Good morning, everybody. It's Talk Tuesday. We are at the straight road. And there's a bunch of wind, but I'm filming anyway. Hopefully the audio isn't so bad. But the weather's pretty nice. I'm a bit concerned of the overcast. I'm trying to get the walk in before the rain. So hopefully we're about a quarter of the way through. Hopefully. Maybe a little more than that actually, but 13 today. For those of you who were looking for Kronk, he's back. He's attached to me. Who do we have out in the front there? We've got Tucker. Can't really see Arosa and Rowan. Newton, Nova, Bailey. Over here we've got Hamish and Cosmo, Richie and Stella, Maggie, and Luna is back there being a menace. Yeah, that's us today. I'm gonna aim for a shorter video. Guys, rains. Thank you. These two. So, Kronk is on leash because he has been injured. He's been off for 3 weeks. We been to the vet a couple times now. And hey! Spatial awareness, you two! Wrestle into a shrub, truly. And we'll see. We'll see how he does. But so far he's doing okay. Kronk? No. Good. But I don't want him to be tearing around because he could damage himself further. And as much as I love my vet, not really interested in seeing them again for a little bit. Though I guess we will be going back. Our vet does the snap test clinics. So if you don't know what that is, it's a test for like Lyme and heartworm, stuff like that. It's kind of important to do that test at least once a year in conjunction with whatever methods you're using to dissuade parasite carrying bugs from liking your pup. No vet in front. Sorry, just watching Luna. Luna! You do not need the extra fiber. That is enough. Arosa! Same. Uh-huh. Good Lord. Puppies. Okay, Cosmo, go. Thank you. Yeah, so that's us this morning. Oh, snap test. Yeah, so I take them in, get the snap test done, and we discuss things like tick prevention, stuff like that. But that is not for a couple weekends still. I'm supposed to go in April, but the plan just fell apart, and thankfully they do too, so I've got another option in May. Now, you don't have to go to like a clinic for this. You can just call your vet and say that you want this test. And it's not just for Lyme and heartworm. Like there's a couple of other things that there's 4 or 5 things. I can't remember what they all are. But that is what we're doing. So I had a question the other day about impulse control. And like, do I do just impulse control training? Yeah, I can do a single session on that sort of stuff. And then how long did it take to have a dog like respond to impulse control training? And truthfully, if you do it right, it's pretty fast, like within a couple days. But you have to do it right. And you have to be consistent about it. That's like the hardest thing with training. A lot of the times it's like, we're not just talking about you train your dog for 10 minutes a day. Like it can be a whole lifestyle shift. And when it comes to impulse control training, like it is that way from then on. And like maybe after a little while you can lay off on it, but generally speaking, Kay, out, go. Thank you. So like that right there, impulse control training. But sort of, if I'm just starting with a dog with that, generally speaking, we do 3 main things. The first thing is a game called It's Your Choice. And the idea is teaching them, Bailey, that's a hard no. Thank you. She's like, nothing. I was just looking at the water. I don't know what you're talking about. Tucker, stop being a bad influence. Bailey and Rowan. My mischiefs. Thank you. We're coming, Rosa. And like, it's one of the first things I teach my dogs, right? And using this game is like one of the 3 ways that sort of I blend together, because as you guys know, like my training is not just about good obedience. It's about learning good life choices. Cosmo, go. Thank you. Oh my God. Doodle Blacklegs. Okay, who am I? Speaking of Blacklegs, let's go. God, I can hear them. Yep. There they go. In the grass water. Good God. Okay, so game It's Your Choice. You can look this one up. Like just Google it. Like dog training game It's Your Choice. It's a pretty simple concept that we're teaching. The idea being you do something for me, I do something for you. So you start off with like a treat or a kibble in your hand, and until you get eye contact, like they'll try and nose it out of your hand, they'll try to lick it out of your hand if you've never done this before or anything like it. They will try all of those things. But what you're waiting for is for them to give you eye contact, and then as soon as they give eye contact, you give your marker. So whether you're using whether you're using yes or a clicker or whatever, and give them the food. And then you basically expand on this concept. I will try to do an actual video of it, because there's like many steps to it. But you basically go from having food in your closed fist to throwing food on the ground or past your dog, and your dog should not go for it. They can watch it, but then they give you the eye contact and then they can have it. So that's the first one. And then the second one is teaching a good out command. And that one is easy enough. Kronk, don't. That's a good boy, bud. So that starts again inside. Whoa, Rowan! That was your brother. Okay, bud. Yeah, okay. You start with something high value on the ground in the house. Have your dog on a leash. And anytime they go to smell it, Newton, can we not? I do not want vomit in my car today. Anytime they go for it, you give a little leash pop and say out. And the concept of out is not even just leave it or drop it. It's disengage with it. Okay, so we're not trying to teach your dog to stay away from something until you close your eyes and then they can have it. It's like, no, if I say out and I don't release it back, Archibald! I don't know what was in your mouth, but no. Newton, make better choices. Go on. Thank you. And then the third way, of course, is like in these two, we're primarily focusing on food and stuff like that, but impulse control isn't just about food. It's also about like dragging you to see a dog or dragging you to see a person or dragging you to go smell something. Like all of these things are impulse control too. So in that way, like we've taught out, we've taught it's your choice. The third thing you want to do, and this might not feel like training, but it is you take your dog somewhere start in a pretty low traffic area to begin with, outside your house, just sitting in your garage, something like that. Or take them to a park where you know it's slow at that particular point in time. Okay, crazies. Nova, in front, please. Thank you. Tucker, I don't need a white shadow. Thank you, buddy. Okay. And the goal of this training, whether you need to sit the leash or any other exercise to get it started. Luna! No, you know you're not supposed to go on that side. The goal with this one is to have your dog in a down stay or a sit stay. Usually down is easier, especially at first. And you're just letting the world go by. Letting them understand that, like, they don't have to go and see every dog. They don't have to go and see every person. They don't have to go and see every squirrel. None of that. So you can use food. You can not use food. You can just use fuss. Bailey? No. Absolutely not, Doodle. Bailey and Rowan. You guys are lucky you have short fur. Yeah, so you layer all those things together, and that's sort of how you do impulse control. And, like, obviously there's a lot more to them. I'm trying to think if I have videos on specific ones. I know I've done the in the park chill with one of my boarding trains a couple years ago. Now, that being said, I don't remember if that video is public. So I will add those to my list of video ideas that I will do some bonus content on. Good girl, Mags. We're almost. Stella, leave them be. But, like, impulse control, I'd say, is one of the more important things when it comes to dog training. It affects a lot of other stuff. Luna! Generally speaking, if you hear me saying a dog's name a lot, it means that we need to do some more work on their impulse control. But yeah, it helps them play better. It helps them listen more. It helps your bond more. So I highly recommend doing some of these exercises, even just for fun with your guy. Even if they don't pull a lot or anything like that. If you have a dog that you know would sneak food off the table if you weren't paying attention, that kind of stuff. Like, these kind of exercises are good for that. Maggie, no. Not eating things they shouldn't. Make better choices, child. Thank you. Keep going. And, like, once they understand those, like, concepts and they begin to apply them on their own to things, it is a lot more helpful. Like, for example, if your dog loves water, if you have good impulse control with them, you can actually stop them from, like, running into a mud puddle, right? You can direct them. So you see that on Pack Walk. Rowan! You see that on Pack Walk, where there are specific water spots I will let them go, especially if it's hot. But then spots that I know are, like, particularly muddy or disgusting, or I just don't feel comfortable letting them drink there. Newton, Bailey, Luna. Thank you. Rowan. Like, in theory, what you want is for them to actively choose not to do that. And honestly, like, the later in the season it goes, right now they want to be in everything because they haven't seen water in forever. And it's new and fun and exciting. And then some are just water dogs, like Newton's a water dog, Luna's a water dog. Retrievers, except for Nova, oddly. Nova is a princess. But all the other ones, they just want to be in anything. But they do know, as walks go on in the summer. Hey, Mish. Thank you. That was very nice kisses, buddy. They know which areas I'm going to let them and which areas I'm not. So they just elect to not go where I would tell them, they will just skip it and go to where they know it's okay, if that makes sense. So that's the teaching life choices, as opposed to just teaching obedience and have to tell them like constantly at each water area that it's a no. Oh my God. Okay, well, I have to address, hey, that is hanging out of Croc's mouth. And I think that's good for, I went over again. I'm sorry guys, I really do try to stay at the 10-minute mark. But either way, if you guys have questions about this or any other video, you know what to do. Otherwise, I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. And if you have a second to like, comment, and subscribe, it's greatly appreciated. Otherwise, we will see you soon. Well, not see you, obviously. We will talk to you soon. Okay, cheers.